Hi, everybody. Bob Wolf speaking. Our guest, Rocky Colavito of the Cleveland Indians. Rocky, there have been many great moments in your baseball career, and there are many big ones still ahead, I know. But I'm sure one you'll always remember is the night of June 10th, 1959. In that game against the Baltimore Orioles, you had 4 home runs in one game to tie a Major League record. I'd like to ask you about that game. Do you recall, as you went along, did you ever stop to think that that record might be at hand, that this might be your big night?
Well, Bob, that was the most wonderful night in my baseball career, and that's number one. And as far as recalling that it was a baseball record, I have always known that 4 home runs was a baseball record in one game. But, you know, you go in a ball game and you hit your first home run, and you're just glad if you get a base hit to go along with it. And then you hit your second home run, you feel the same way. And then on to the third. I hit the third, and I just said, boy, this is my best night in the big leagues, hitting 3 home runs in one game. So if I just could get a base hit and have a 4-for-4 night, I'd be real happy.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second pitch, I hit the ball. I knew as soon as I hit it, it was up in there. And I could have jumped up around the bases. I felt so good about it. It was just the most wonderful thrill I've ever had in baseball.
Mm-hmm. When you went up then the 4th time, there wasn't any real pressure to hit another one, huh?
None whatsoever. I figured I had a fairly good night with 3 home runs. And if I just could get a base hit to make it that even 4-for-4, I'd be real happy. I wasn't going to be greedy about it.
Well, did they pitch you different every time?
Well, are you referring to what the pitches were? Would you like to know that, Bob?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the first pitch was a slider off Jerry Walker. The second pitch, I'm not sure if it was a curve or a slider, but I have the feeling it was a slider. And the first one was sort of down, and the second was sort of up. The third pitch was a low fastball. I got it just before it sunk, and a little tiny bit away. And the last pitch was a high inside fastball.
Mm-hmm. On that high inside fastball there, is that the one that you usually hit pretty well for a home run?
Well, Bob, I'm a funny sort of a hitter. When I'm hitting well, I might get good with it on a high inside fastball, and I might hit the low outside ball. It depends. When you're hitting well, I don't think there's any particular spot for me.
Mm-hmm.
I've hit some balls real good. And the same goes when I'm hitting bad. They'll get me out on just about anything.
Mm-hmm. Rocky, back in the early days, did you have designs to become an outfielder or a pitcher?
I wanted to be an outfielder. The reason is I wanted to play every day. Now, when I signed as a pitcher outfielder. And I thought that if I couldn't hit well in the spring, why, I'd go to pitching. But I always felt I could hit a little bit, and I wanted the chance to prove I was wrong or right.
Mm-hmm. You were born actually not far from Yankee Stadium.
That's right, Bob. I was born 5 minutes from Yankee Stadium. And I saw a lot of ball games when I was young, and Yankees were always my ball club as a young boy.
Mm-hmm. I recall you're telling me that it were your brothers that really helped to develop your arm. Is that right?
Oh, yes. My brothers... they used to make me throw all the time, and like the story I once told you, before supper at times, there was a fence I had to throw the ball over, and I can recall that real well, and I think that helped develop my arm.
Mm-hmm.
Because without God putting it there, I don't think all the throwing you could would develop it.
Rocky, with your ability to hit the long ball and pull them as you do to left, have you noticed that the pitchers, for the most part, are working on you now in a certain way?
Well, Bob, I've had that question put up to me quite often lately, and to tell you the truth, I don't think they'd wait until the next year to try to alter anything that they think they're doing wrong, anything to stop you. I think they're going to go right to it. What I mean by that is if you're getting a couple of hits off them in a series, I think they're going to go right on and try to do something about it in that next ball game. I don't think they're going to wait until next year.
Well, for example, do they try to pitch you on the outside, knowing that if they get it inside, you can pull it into the seats?
No, I don't think so, Bob. I've hit some balls that are away from me out of the ballpark, too. I think what they try to do is go in and out with me.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they try to set me up, maybe looking for something away and try to jam me, and then maybe if they think I'm thinking about getting jammed, they might try to go away from me. They try to keep you off balance, change of speeds and stuff like that.
I suppose they try to keep throwing you that curve breaking on the outside corner. That would seem to be a tough one to hit.
Well, yes, Bob, but I think that the pitcher has to give the hitter a little credit and vice versa. And I think that if they're going to throw me out there all the time, I think, and I have done it in the past, I'm going to just try to go through the middle with the ball. And after all, you got to get smart. I mean, you stand up there and be a dumbbell, you're not going to get any place, so I try to do my best.
Yeah, well, that's part of the deal, being able to think as well as swing the bat, huh?
I think so. I think you have to try to figure them out and see what they're doing with you.
How about your stance? Has anybody ever altered it, or is this the one that comes natural to you, Rocky?
Well, this has come natural lately, the last few years. Now, I used to have a very wide open spread stance,
Mm-hmm.
and Kirby Farrell back in '53 in Reading, he changed that and they had me crouching down low. I had a fairly good year in Indianapolis hitting that way, and as soon as I got to the big leagues, without seeing much of me, they said, you can't hit that way in the big leagues. Why, I don't know, but that's the funny thing. When you have an odd stance, to say you can't hit that way. So, and I've always been a bad starter in the spring. So I went to a little open stance, and now I sort of closed up just a wee bit, but I don't crouch over. And I like hitting that way. It's comfortable.
What do you like to do for recreation when your baseball is over or during the off season?
Bob, I just love to hunt. I always have, ever since, well, let's say ever since I was about 18, 17, about 9 years now. And I enjoy doing that as well as anything.
You have an off-season baseball job?
No, I haven't. I could work for the ball club, I would imagine, but I like it at home in Pennsylvania, and I go back there, and I've done different things. Last year I had a lot of personal appearances, and I also worked for a friend of mine who owns a Temple Mushroom Transportation Corporation.
What were you doing?
I was I went around to these different growers and picked up these mushrooms, and I understand he has something a little different in mind for me this year.
I see. So you're a combination mushroom picker, a home run hitter, a speaker, and all-around good man.
Well, I try to be, Bob. I like to be a gentleman whenever I can.
Well, Rocky Colavito, it certainly is a great pleasure to have you with us. And certainly the way that you've been wrapping that apple around, there are many records still ahead of you, which I'm sure you'll take care of.
Well, thank you, Bob. I sincerely appreciate that.